Hello, hello, welcome to Mindset to Results. Today, our guest is Shuang Min. She's energy healer and intuitive coach. And today we will speak about how to be successful without sacrificing your health, without sacrificing values, and of course, without sacrificing being aligned with your goals. So it is not that goals and business separate from us and we are separate. How to really make business as extension of who we are. Hi, Chuanmin.
Hello, Elena, and hello, everyone. I'm Shuang Min.
Yeah, great to meet you, Shanmi. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you find the alignment and how you do now?
So I am intuitive healer and intuitive coach and energy healer as introduced. And my journey is that I work in fashion retail industry for more than a decade. That was how I built my last career. I was brought up to striving for success, striving for achievements and for successes since I growing up. I grew up in the background that my parents packed my schedule and I couldn't take leaves unless there's very, very drastic reasons. That's how I grew up. And that part of upbringing shaped a lot of my life. I grew up to believe that success is about doing a lot, packing my schedule, and then following a certain set of definition. So that definition is that I have to, in a way, have a best company packages, and then at certain age, I supposed to reach a certain level of stuff, all the external things. That's how I built my last career. I do love my last career. It was in fashion. It was fast-paced. I love business and strategy, but to some point, I realized that my health was failing in a way. Even I looked really high energy. I trained in the gym, 5 to 7 hours apart from my 12, 16 hours workday. But I know, like sometimes my health will go like suddenly, like I will be really sick for no reason. And the doctor wouldn't find any reason of it. And I was started being prescribed antibiotics and so on. So it kept coming in the last couple of years of in my career. And also in that external chasing, it's just ticking boxes. It's about ticking boxes. So at some point when I approaching 35, I asked myself that how many more years in my life I just want to spend ticking boxes because I have other things I wanted to do. I paint, I draw, I like the countryside, I surf the water, the waves. So I actually feel alive with a corporate that is not allowing me to do a lot of things that actually brighten me up. There's no right or wrong, but at a certain stage in life, I needed to reconsider what's really in alignment with me. And especially last career, because of my growth, it was started falling out of alignment. A lot of things I need to do to generate business, it's not in alignment with my integrity anymore. So there was a lot of thinking I was doing at 35. And in the end, I decided to left corporate and then pursue a different lifestyle, and through the pursuit of different lifestyle, I needed to redefine success because it's not about ticking boxes anymore. And I needed to nurture my body back to health at the same time. And it was pandemic at that time. So everything, every norm was challenged and shifted because of that. So I started my business in that background. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
Yes, so it was not easy to make decision to leave everything what you already built and start from scratch new career. So what helped you to make that decision?
Mm, I love, that's a question I love to ask myself. Is this going to make me happy if I
Mhm.
go for it? This is a very important question I have for myself. And it's also like, do I feel a purpose in me? Like when I got into fashion in 25, I have a dream, I have a purpose, I was really driven. So when I was moving away from what I have built, one question I ask myself is what drives me now? You know, in different life stage, we have different drives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important for me to find that drive. And one of the key important drive is I no longer willing to sacrifice other areas of my life in service of a career.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, great. So, how did you find what drove you? How did you find what will be your next career that you will build for yourself?
I did. How do I find my career? So the drive I mentioned, I had a background of having depression when I was 23. So since I was 23, I was very careful about, you know, understanding myself. So what is important for me, as I mentioned, happiness. But after I got out of depression, one of the promise I made myself is that I will never do something that made me unhappy. So align with happiness is important. So one one thing one you can do, like the audience can do, is to look through your life, what's important to you, you know, like maybe it's happiness, maybe it's family, maybe it's honesty, you know, like those values that's important to you. That's one thing. And the second thing is that, as I said, I have many hobbies. I have many interests I want to explore, but I didn't have all the time when I was in corporate. So I also ask myself, so what is the reason I want to build in my next phase in my life? It's not just career. I can build another career if that's anyone who wants, but I want to build different rhythm of life. So I want like the flexible of time. I want to spend time in the ocean in the morning or during a day. So I have to start to look at the possibilities, you know, like how can I make it together because it's different from what's before. And that's the life I am willing to spend next 10 years or more building. That's important. I always ask myself, am I willing to spend the next even 20 years building this that I dream up right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes, great. So you choose direction where you want to be and what you want to build. And of course, you didn't have all answers how you are going to do it. Yes, so you had to step into unknown. Yes, that
Yeah.
also required the courage. So how did you start? Because I ask as many people think that, oh, I want to do something, but I already spent so many years. So how now I will start just from zero? Like, for example, if they had education in that field and years and investments done. So, yeah, so it really needs courage. And also, what I want to emphasize here that you don't need to know how you will do that. Yes, the
No.
main prerequisite is to really want it and feel that you can do that and do the first step, what you can do in where you are, what resources you have. So, how it
So,
unfolds for you.
so as I mentioned, I asked myself, am I willing to spend the next 10 years doing what I did before? And the answer was no. And one exercise I guided my clients to do is that to imagine yourself, if living the life you are living for next 10 years, how would you feel? So if your current life, our current life is not what we want to live, usually the emotion is not good. So are you willing to go through that for 10 years? And the second question we can ask ourselves, that if I don't go for that, what am I giving up? You know, we don't want to give up what we build right now. It's very human, it's very logical, we don't understand. But we are also giving up something or a lot of things by not going to the next thing we desire. And you can make a very traditional pros and con list. and then make the decision. This is a logical way to create courage. The second way is to find people who already did what you dream to do. I always like to say there's no new things under the sun in some way. So whatever I dream up, someone may do already something similar if it's not exactly the same. So I will go to them. I will, like not comparing myself to them. Just give myself a vision that is doable. Because when our mind believe it's doable, the uncertainty decrease.
Mhm. Yes, yes, great. So as you said that it is important to have a bigger picture. Yes, to see bigger picture than what you have now. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it is really we have so much opportunities. Yes, and we have
yeah,
such a huge potential, and sometimes we can lock ourselves in one small box and just thinking
yeah,
this is all what we can have. And so this
yeah,
is so important to get out of that box, yes, and just open your mind and see that what you really want, what will really make you happy and feel
yeah,
successful and fulfilled,
yeah,
and go for it, yes, and not putting those limitations and not allowing fear and doubt step on the way, because of course
yeah,
we will always have fear and doubt when we step into
yeah,
unknown.
always.
Yeah, because this is how our brain operates. Yes, it wants to keep us in safe place, in the place what is already known. Yes, and what is already known, it is just from the past or from our current results. Yes, and every time when we want to do something new, we will feel scared and we will feel
Mm.
doubt, but at that moment we have to step out, just have the fear, do it anyway, because just think like if you are 80 or 90 years and you look back
Yeah,
in your life, what
yeah,
you will feel if you lived life doing something that you really were not happy, that didn't bring you joy, that you didn't explore those opportunities which you could, or if you, or how you would look at life when you did everything you just could possible. That will be
yeah,
very different.
yeah.
Yeah, great. So tell us now what like practical steps that you can suggest people who are listening to us, what they can really do to get that courage to start thinking that it is possible. Because sometimes people think about what they love like a dream, like a fantasy. Yes, and they think it is just fantasy, but this is my reality. This is what I have to do. So, how you suggest people who you work with, how they can make that fantasy reality and start thinking that it is not just fantasy, that this is what I'm going for, this is what I'm going to do, and this is my first step. So, yeah, what do you suggest people to find that courage?
Okay, so if we look at logically, so the logically is that if you or someone already know they want to make a transition, so it's just to really take some time to list them out, because things in our head tend to get tangled and create a lot of fear. When we write them down, they become a clear possible plan or a roadmap. So write them down, no matter how crazy they are or illogical they are, it's okay, because our dreams start not with logic. We have dreams start with imagination. So really write them down and then begin to see, what how would you like to make a transition? Because we are the individuals. Everyone want to transition in a different way. For me, I just left everything behind. That's how I do, And so, how do you want to see the transition? What's the possibility? Maybe you need to save up more money. Maybe you need to talk to someone first. So start to make the first step and do it. Don't think about it's very small, because all the steps looks very small. Like all the steps, even going forward 10 years, the steps still look small. Second thing, energetically, is to carve out at least 5 minutes a day and then be with your dream. So imagine your dream, imagine as detailed as possible and feel how you feel. That's how what I call like activating and embodying an energy, because we actually embody energy first before we create. So spend time with your dream is really important. And the third thing is your dream is a direction for you to transit to your next stage. So the dream will maybe change after you take the first step, the second step. Let it change, because a lot of second layer of fear come from, oh, now I think about it. It has to happen that way. No, it's a direction, it's a drive for us to go forward and start creating. So if it need to change, need to shift, then the dream grow with us. It's also very important, because a lot of times the dreams become another checkbox. And that's how we feel we become exhausted again. It's not. So yeah, I gave 3 methods to that's how you can start doing the transition, finding courage, if that's what you are looking for in life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, really. It is everything is energy. Yes, and before we
Yeah,
get something like materialistic things, right, happening in our reality, we have to create energy inside. So
yeah,
initially, it might feel like a dream, like a fantasy, but more time you spend with this, more you visualize yourself. This is how this idea gets impressed into your subconscious mind, and more
yeah,
you spend time with this, your subconscious mind start accept is that yes, maybe it can be real, and more you do that, it says
yeah,
one day, yes, this is what is real, I can see it,
yeah,
this is, I'm part of
yeah,
that. Yes, so this through repetition our subconscious mind becomes reprogrammed, and this is how then it starts showing you the way. So our
yeah.
goal and actually what we have to do is not thinking even about how, but
No,
through repetition impress this idea into subconscious mind, and subconscious mind like that GPS will start showing you the way that
yeah,
you didn't know, you never know how it starts unfolding. So
yeah.
yes, so just trust the
So true.
process.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, great. So, what else, because before we wrap this episode, was what else would you like to share? Maybe some practical techniques how people can implement, like being present, be fulfilled, feeling aligned with what they do, find themselves, trust themselves in this process.
Yeah, so something that I do is to take its break. So if my mind feel really chaotic, for example, I feel there's million things to do, or I'm overwhelmed by how big my dream is. Usually, our mind's tendency is to find things to do. So I have a practice that if my mind finding things to do all over, I will step away. I will not even think about it. I won't even care about deadlines. I will just step away. And then I may do breathing, I may do painting, which creates space. So creating space. So for someone, maybe it was knitting, for someone, maybe playing basketball, for someone, maybe cycling. Everyone is different. So this is a practice I do when my mind got really scattered and like really obsessed with finding things to do to fill up my schedule because I'm afraid or because I feel like I need to do something to make something happen. I step away. Like I will do and like things that's non-related as far away as possible so I can create space. So the flow can come in, then energy can come in, clarity can come in. And I do it as often as needed because some days it's harder, some days it's easier. So that's one practice that helps me like a lot. And basically, I recommend it to most of my Taipei clients.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. So it is not about doing many things and pushing things. It is about the state that you are in. Yes, so if
Yeah,
you feel that you are stressed and worried, You have to take pause and find some activities to bring yourself in that happy, positive, sage energy, because this
Yeah.
is how everything will be unfolded and new ideas will come. Because success is not just doing things which to push. Yes, in many
No.
cases,
Hmm.
it is just doing different. Yes, not just
Yeah.
doing the same, but more harder. It is sometimes, like most of times, it is just looking at things from the different perspective
Yeah.
and see,
Yeah.
oh, it is always there. How I didn't see this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So, what will be one advice which you will give our audience before we wrap up this episode? If anything else you would like to share?
I like a quote from Helen Keller. So life is either adventure or nothing. So we have this life, and I believe we are meant to experience all experience we can have. Even sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's exciting. I would say just go for it, like because it will never be as bad as you believe it will be. So just go for it and start doing the first step, and you will know.
Yeah, I like this quote. Yes, great quote. And another quote came to my mind that what we don't change, we choose. Yeah, so
Yeah,
if you don't like your results or something like in your life and you don't change anything, it means you choose it. It means
yeah,
like you agree with this situation. Yes, so if you
yeah,
really want to change, results, you have to change from within. You have to say yourself, enough is enough. I'm not going to
yeah,
tolerate this anymore. I'm going to step out into my uncomfort zone, start doing things, create big picture, bigger than your current reality, and go for it.
yeah,
Because we have one life and this is what we can do. It is to do today what is the best for our future self and see that future self
yeah,
and that life that we
yeah,
really deserve and desire.
yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Shuang Min. Yes, it was amazing
Thank you.
conversation. Yes, and thank you for sharing. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye bye for now.